Welcome back. You're on to the Afia Morning Show this Wednesday morning. Now, the third day of the Things Fall Apart Festival continued on Tuesday at the Center for Memories in Enugu with a poetry workshop, critical discourse, cultural tourism, and artistic performances. Afia TV's Marvelous Apwamaga now reports.
The afternoon began with an engaging masterclass titled Chinua Achebe, a biocritical reflection on art and activism, followed by panel discussions, a poetry workshop, a cultural tourism segment, a wrestling bout, and other performances. Mr. Amobi, one of Chinua Achebe's kinsmen and an art enthusiast, expressed his delight at how Achebe's legacy continues to thrive. He encouraged young people to cultivate a reading culture as a means of staying connected to their roots.
Chinua Achebe is somebody I had met personally, and I know the Achebe family. I'm from Ogidi also, and so he's one of our very, very proud sons. I mean, there are many of them, including myself, but then, Chinua Achebe is up there. And just the fact that he had gone through what he had gone through. He had written this book even before the war. It was 1958, Things Fall Apart. And this is one book that has been translated into over 100 languages worldwide over time. It is quite renowned. There's absolutely nobody who hasn't heard of Things Fall Apart in one language or the other. And so he's not only an ambassador of Nigeria, he's an ambassador of Africa. And so being somebody from his place and knowing exactly where his home is, and him visiting our home and sitting down with my parents at the time and fraternizing is it's quite an honor and a privilege. I encourage my children and I encourage every young person out there to read as much as possible. Read anything, read books, read novels, read magazines. Unfortunately, we don't have newspapers like we used to have before, but just keep reading. There's no end to it. Even at my own age, I still read, I still learn, I still get excited by the exposure of knowledge and how it, shapes humanity.
Maxim Uzoatu, who delivered the masterclass, shared the inspiration behind it.
Well, Chinua Achebe is like a father to all of us who are like writers, poets, and everything. So anything about Chinua Achebe for anybody in Africa means a lot. Whether you are from Kenya, like I quoted Ngugi wa Thiong'o, who said that every country in Africa claims Achebe. Every country is not just a question of Nigeria or Igbo land or Anambra State.
Renowned poet James Ugueze, who led the poetry workshop, shared the inspiration behind its title and highlighted the part he believes holds the most power.
What inspired it is the fact that I considered the burning need to let people actually understand why Things Fall Apart is a powerful classic with a longevity beyond the expectation of even Chinua Achebe himself and all lovers of good literature. And that secret is the power of poetry. Things Fall Apart is a work of prose, a work of fiction, but it floats on the current of poetry. And I tried to prove that in my presentation with direct references of portions of the book where what comes across in its starkness and clarity is poetry. So Chinua Achebe, a lot of people do not know, was also a poet in his time and had published a collection of poems known as Beware Soul Brother. In that book, there are poems on the Civil War and poems on so many other themes and topics that Achebe tried to explore. And, so he had a poetic gift as well. And in Things Fall Apart, as in other books of Chinua Achebe, we encounter poetry very cleverly disguised in his prose. And that is the silent power, to my mind, that has driven Chinua Achebe's classical works and endeared those works to nearly all over the world. It's very difficult to actually say that this aspect of the book is the most powerful. But in my presentation, I tried to cite some instances, like where Okonkwo had just slaughtered his adopted son, Ikemefuna, and his own direct son, Woye, was ruminating on what had happened and how he felt. And, his father coming in after killing Ikemefuna had reminded him of a feeling that had descended on him, which was, according to Achebe, akin to the feeling that someone gets if he encounters a spirit while walking in the night. The kind of chill that descends on you. So the way Achebe captured it was so poetic that, the reader becomes vicariously involved in the scene that Achebe tried to paint.
On his part, Mr. Sunday, one of the attenders, shared what resonated most with him during the session.
What I like about the whole thing is the conversation that is going around tourism and recreation, which is long overdue, and I'm glad that it is coming at this time, and I'm glad that we are having these conversations to put it in the mind of people that whatsoever you go looking outside Eastern Nigeria is also here. So we all have to look into our environment, our villages, our communities, and enjoy this recreation that are just mainly purely natural and not man-made. So I think that's a very good one, and I hope and I wish the conversation continues so that, we don't go and give in money to travel elsewhere to get recreation while we have very beautiful streams, very beautiful waterfall, places like Center for Memories and all that.
The highlight of day 3 was the thrilling wrestling bout staged by the Ijele Renaissance Theatre. It was an afternoon marked by reading, reflection, and reinvention, where Chinua Achebe's legacy echoed not just through words, but through dance and the bold expressions of a rising generation. From Center for Memories in Enugu, Marvelous Apwamaga reporting for Afia TV.
Thank you, Marvelous, for that story. I mean, that was quite exciting there. Things Fall Apart Festival is still underway in Enugu, and it's going to be on till the end of the week. So if you're looking for what to do, where to go, who to see, you should definitely head on to the Center for Memories in Enugu Street. And, go catch up with number 2, go catch up with the nostalgia that you felt while watching those scenes from the Umuofia village. Umuofia, and this is not Ugoye, this is Umuofia.
Now it's Umuofia.
I think I just like the U.
The U, right? Enable.
So how did you feel about that?
Yeah, well, over almost, there are about 70 years, 1958, this book was out and still relevant to today. We keep, bringing pieces of it and translating from that generation to this generation. This is what you call magnum opus. This is the real work of art.
Yeah.
It overlived itself and still living, right? So, and it's a great deal that, this festival, and it's bringing everybody together, poets, entertainers and all, right? Immerse themselves in this book.
Yes.
Again, and have the vital conversations around whatever is going to be, talked about in that fora.
Yeah.
It's very important. But the main thing is that it's Chinua Achebe's book that is bringing all these things together, bringing the festival, bringing people and all that, to have even other conversations that would further enhance this region.
Exactly. I mean, I think Chinua Achebe wrote with blood and not ink.
Ink, yeah.
Because that blood has remained eternal, it is timeless, and people are still appreciating it today. Now, this festival is going to continue up until Friday, if I understand clearly, and that is going to end with the Nkata Umibe that you need to be a part of this month of July. So do also head on straight to the Center for Memories and partake in this 2025 Things Fall Apart Festival. And big shout out to Zachary Amobi and Ifediora Amobi as well. I mean, I saw you guys there, but let's leave it at that.